皆さんこんにちは。最も車の知識が少ないシムレーシングチャンネルへようこそ。私たちは日本の自動車産業の黄金時代に敬意を表しています。私たちは素晴らしいスポーツカーのコレクションがあるアイコニックなスクーバレースサーキットにいます。グリッド上にはマズダミアタ、トヨタ A86、トヨタサプラ、ニサンスカイライン GTR、Mitsubishi ランサーエボリューション4、マズダ RX-7 スピリット R、ホンダ S2000、ホンダ NSX-R、スバル WRX22 バイト。本日私たちはこれまでで最高のスポーツカーを見つけたいと思います。では始めましょう。スタート。Alright, we have a strong start from the 22B. Unfortunately, the Skyline and the RX-7 just pummeling straight into the wall as the Supra goes straight from third place to pole position. It's taken the lead almost immediately, circumventing the very slow 86 and the Miata as the 22B tries to do the same thing. It's following up in second place. Yes, the 22B has taken second, and now the chase is on as we watch from the rear from the NSX, trying to also circumvent the 86, going around the outside. 86 being pushed onto the Astro on the inside of the hairpin. And the front of the field very, very slowly being entrenched. We've got the Supra followed by the 22B, followed by the Honda NSX-R. Supra entrenching its lead as it pushes on ahead as we move to the midfield to check out the Lancer following the Miata, trying to work its way through the best of the rest position. We have a very big train forming in the midfield here, led by the 86, followed by the Miata and the Lancer. Moving up to third position now, following up the 22B is the Honda NSX. 22B doing its best to stay up with the Supra as well as it can. The roar of that strong boxer engine as it tries to follow it around the first hairpin. Unfortunately going way wide this time. Bit of a disaster for the 22B as it tries to hang on for dear life following the Supra for pole position. Our forerunners very quickly creating a gap to the rest of the midfield. Unfortunately, that train in the midfield holding everybody up. As we go onto the Dunlop Bridge for the second time, 22B is holding on quite closely to the Toyota Supra. The 86 still holding up the rest of the field as the RX-7 tries to make its way through desperately. The S2000 has already made its way through, following the Skyline and the Lancer, which establishes our best of the rest position. The Skyline desperately trying to catch the Lancer from the interior now. Doing its best to hold on to the slipstream, hopefully make up some ground. The battle for fourth place is looking like it's going to be a very strong one. Shooting back to the front of the pack, we've still got the Supra leading the 22B, followed by the Honda NSX. You can see that the NSX is desperately trying to hold on to its podium position. It doesn't look like it's in any risk of being knocked off, but can it catch our two leaders? Can it give them a run for their money as the 22B rapidly gains ground on the Toyota Supra, every lap gaining a few tenths more? Supra doing its best, but of course a very, very heavy car compared to the WRX. Really doesn't do it much justice around these hairpins as the 22B very rapidly catches it on the straight here. Using the slipstream to maintain that held ground. Oh, taking the inside, the Supra is struggling with all that added weight. As we move to the rear, it looks like the Skyline's making a move on the inside of the Lancer. Is it going to be able to make it stick? Can he use the side draft in order to hold the position? Yes, it looks like he's making it stick. The Lancer is being pushed to the outside. It's being pushed off the field, being pushed wide onto the Astro, coming up to T1 now. The Skyline has the inside. It hasn't made the move quite stick yet. Oh, as he over brakes on the inside, almost a crash there. As the Skyline makes the position stick, yes, we have a new best of the rest leader. As the 22B does an undercut on the inside of the Supra, I think we have a new leader here. I think the 22B has taken the position. As the Supra sinks into second place, the 22B rockets on ahead. And we have a new race leader, ladies and gentlemen, as the 22B pushes on ahead, the Supra struggling to follow, and the NSX following suit in third position. Those are our podium positions for the time being. The view from the NSX now. NSX still holding on very, very well, possibly even closing the gap to the Supra. But now that the 22B has a clear field in front of it, can it make some headway? Can it get a gain on the rest of the field? Oh, as it looks like the RX-7 is making a move on the Lancer as well. Yes, 2 positions lost over the course of 1 lap. As the best of the rest is now headed by the Skyline, followed very closely by the RX-7, followed by the Mitsubishi Lancer. And then we got the rear of the field, of course, the 86, followed by the Miata, very, very far away from the rest of the field. They just lack the grunt to keep up, unfortunately. As we go back to the leaders, 22B still very clearly in the lead. Under no risk of being overtaken, it appears. The Supra just doesn't have the grunts to catch it. As the 22B rockets down the penultimate corner, still maintaining its lead as we watch from the rear of the NSX. The last podium position being represented by the mighty nimble Honda NSX. Tires absolutely under load, squealing through that hairpin as the 22B punishes them, trying to maintain that lead as well as it can. We are now on our final race lap. Can the 22B hold it, or can the Supra make up some lost ground? The tires absolutely squealing underneath that very understeery four-wheel drive drivetrain, trying its best to get underneath the Dunlop tire. Now moving back to the midfield, the RX-7 is trying to make moves on the Skyline here. Rapidly gaining ground, the RX-7 being a very, very light, very, very powerful car. The damage being represented for both cars, unfortunately, as they had that incident where they smashed into the wall off the beginning of the race. And now the 22B, the penultimate corner, one last time. No other competitors in sight. Maybe the Supra just trailing well behind as we cross the finishing line for the race win. It's the 22B, followed by the Toyota Supra, followed by the Honda NSX. Jumping back to the midfield, it looks like it's going to be the Skyline for 4th place, the RX-7 for 5th, and the rest of the field trailing behind. Ladies and gentlemen, what an absolutely insane JDM battle. What a wonderful homage to the Japanese sports cars of the golden era. That race was an action-packed bonanza around one of Japan's most iconic race circuits. Be sure to hit subscribe and join us next time for more packed Assetto Corsa action. And until then, sayonara.